Good morning and welcome to the locker room. Coach Giggs here, and today's message, you can't win an argument. That's right, you can't win an argument. Let me dig in here. If you argue and wrangle and contradict, you may achieve a victory sometimes, but it will be an empty victory because you will never get your opponent's goodwill, said Dale Carnegie. In an article in Bits and Pieces, some suggestions are made on how to keep a disagreement from becoming an argument. First, distrust your first instinct or impression. You see, our first and natural reaction in a disagreeable situation is to be defensive. Be careful of this. Keep calm and watch out for your first reaction, because it may not be your best. In fact, it probably will be your worst response. Second, control your temper. Remember, you can measure the size of a person by what makes him or her angry. So control your temper. Third, listen first. Give your opponents a chance to talk. Let them finish. Don't resist or defend or debate. This only raises barriers. Try to build bridges of understanding. Don't build higher barriers of misunderstanding. Fourth, look for areas of agreement. When you've heard your opponent out completely, dwell first on the points and areas in which the both of you agree. Fifth, be honest. Look for areas where you can admit error and say so. Apologize for your mistake. It will help you to disarm your opponent and reduce defensiveness. Sixth, promise to think it over. Think over your opponent's ideas and study them carefully and mean it. Your opponents may be right. It is a lot easier at this stage to agree to think about their points than to move rapidly ahead and find yourself in a position where your opponents can later on say, Eric, we tried to tell you, but you wouldn't listen. How have you heard that before? I've heard it on one or two occasions. And seventh, thank your opponents sincerely for their interest. Anyone to take time to disagree with you is interested in the same things you want. Think of them as people who really want to help you, and you may turn your opponents into friends and allies. Eighth and finally, postpone action to give both sides time to think through the problem. Suggest a new meeting be held at a later date or the next day, when all the facts may be brought to bear. In preparation for this meeting, ask yourself some very hard questions. Could my opponent be right? Partly right? Is there truth or merit in their position or argument? Is my reaction one that will relieve the problem, or will it just create more frustration? Will my reaction drive my opponents further away or draw them closer to me? Will my reaction elevate the estimation good people have of me? Will I win the argument or lose? What price will I have to pay if I do win the argument? Folks, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. So together, let's not try to win arguments. Let's try to make peace. And in so doing, we'll be living our best life. Thanks for joining me today in the Locker Room Gang, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
If you've enjoyed and feel the Daily Locker Room has served as an inspiration in your life, why not share it with a friend by sending them the daily message?